So this only gets better. You're telling me Carson Beck transferred to the University of Miami solely for his girlfriend. And then before he plays a single football game, he gets caught up on Snapchat? Brother, you could have been anywhere. You could have gone to the NFL. You could have stayed at Georgia. You could be Ohio State's quarterback next year. Now you're at a random ACC school that's not gonna benefit your career. You literally went only for your girlfriend and now you're single. Lesson learned. Focus on yourself. Do what's best for you as an athlete trying to be a professional athlete. Don't just fall in love with one of the Cavinder twins off social media and then move to Miami. Kentucky's first round win over Oklahoma was epic in every single way. The best part is once again, Otega Owe got the game winning bucket at the end of the game to advance Kentucky into a round two versus Alabama. But the scary part is that Kentucky was up 10 with 2 minutes left, and then they just choked and choked and choked, and they let Oklahoma come all the way back in the game. Moving forward, we have to secure the ball, especially if we want tournament wins, because no team's just going to give up. This shows that our team's going to fight, right? Like Lamont Butler got hurt, and that's a huge part of Kentucky's story. But if Kentucky's able to be healthy, if Lamont Butler's able to come back, Kentucky's going to win a few games in the tournament. And that's because they have guys who have been there before. They have older, more talented players. It's not their first time in the lights, and they didn't even look nervous in their first game in the SEC tournament. I'm excited as a Kentucky fan, and I believe that this team can make a run if Lamont Butler is healthy. If Lamont Butler is healthy. If Lamont Butler's not healthy, I'm a little bit more skeptical. John Calipari came out with a quote and he said, like, oh, they tried to put us in the coffin, but they didn't put the nails in, blah, blah, blah. And then he got in the SEC tournament and he won the first game. And then he put out a quote saying, like, hey, I don't care about the SEC tournament at all, and this, and that. And then he obviously had the controversy where his first game, he told his guy to miss a free throw when the free throw would have put them up 4 and sealed the game. That makes no sense. If you make the free throw, the game's over. If you miss it, they have an opportunity to tie. So Calipari is still hilarious as always. I wouldn't judge Arkansas based off of the SEC tournament because, as he said, it makes sense. The SEC tournament doesn't matter. There's really nothing to it except you get to hold up a trophy at the end of it. But then your guys are really tired for the NCAA tournament. So as long as Arkansas makes the tournament, it is what it is, and we'll judge Arkansas based off of what they do in the NCAA tournament and not the SEC tournament. Steph Curry hitting 4,000 threes is insane, right? Like insane. Two other players, Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, both retired with the 3-point record when they retired. And Steph Curry has 1,500 more 3-pointers than both of them. When you talk about the most influential player, the guy to change the game the most, it's obviously Steph Curry. What he's done with the 3-pointer, I don't know how nobody thought of this before, but he made that the staple of his game, and now every single basketball team, every player on the team has the green light to shoot whenever they want and to shoot 3-pointers. So Steph Curry, kudos to you. 4K is insane, but that's why you're the GOAT. GOAT Curry hits 4K. Jonathan Kuminga's return to the Golden State Warriors makes them a title favorite. Kuminga is scary. Like people forget, he's not just like an average athlete. He's not a role player. He's a true up and coming star in the NBA. He's young, he's talented, he's athletic, and there's really no code to stop him. He's going to be as good as he wants to be. It just depends how good he wants to be, right? And now you put him on a surging Warriors team that's won 12 out of the last 13 games, and holy cow, they're unstoppable now. Jimmy Butler and Kuminga, people were wondering how is Jimmy going to work with Kuminga because they play very similar roles. No problem. No problem. Jimmy Butler falls back. He stops scoring. He gives up some points. Kuminga goes for almost 20 points. Jimmy gets more assists, more rebounds. Warriors roll by 20. It's like, yeah, that's good basketball. That's what an NBA championship basketball team looks like. Warriors are back. The Warriors are NBA championship favorites. Steph Curry will get his 5th ring this year. If Steph Curry wins his fifth ring this year with this Warriors team, he is undoubtedly the greatest basketball player. The WNBA is having open tryouts, and every guy on Twitter is like, oh, let me show up. Let me try out. Let me go and bust their ass. Newsflash, every single WNBA player would bust your ass if you did not play college basketball. If you're a college athlete and you play D1, D2, I respect you. If you play D3 or you didn't play college basketball, you cannot compete with a WNBA player. That is their full-time profession. They can shoot the lights out. They can dribble. They can handle. They have better endurance than you do. They are professional athletes. There is no male athlete who did not play D1 or D2 basketball that could compete with a WNBA player. I don't believe it. Go to the tryouts. I want you to go to the tryouts so that I can see Cameron Brink and then bust your ass and start laughing at you. Please do it. Injury prone Cooper Flagg gets hurt in the ACC tournament right before March Madness. I feel bad for him, but you know why you should feel bad for me? I wanted to see Cooper Flagg get exposed on the biggest stage in college sports to show that he's not who we thought he was. He is a merchant of the ACC who hasn't played anybody all year. So he better get back. I want him to get back more than anybody else because I want the world to see and the NBA scouts to see that when you put Cooper Flagg up against other guys who actually do this and have other teams, full teams of good players, he's not that good. So Cooper Flagg, get well soon because we want to see you on the court. We want to see Duke play ACC teams and we want to see how you perform with the spotlight on you. If Steph Curry wins another ring with this current NBA team, he is undoubtedly the greatest player of all time. He'll have 5 rings, which is more than LeBron, and he has won every single ring that he has while LeBron was playing, and some of them against LeBron. So when you talk about head-to-head dominance, in my eyes, that shows, hey, Steph Curry was the better player of that era. Steph Curry won more rings while LeBron was in competition with him. Is that not clear? And then the next debate is going to be the Jordan conversation. You could have that. I will have the Steph Curry Jordan conversation with you. But let me say this. If Steph Curry wins a 5th ring, he is hands down higher rated, more highly ranked, more talented, more skilled, and a better player all time than LeBron. Because the teams that he's done it with have been less talented than LeBron's team. He's never changed teams to win, and he reinvented the game. I don't know what more you could ask of a player. Shadur Sanders' draft criticism is BS. The entire time he's been playing football, we know, hey, he's a cocky, confident quarterback. That's why his teammates like playing for him. That's why we're interested in Shadur Sanders. That's why everybody does this celebration. So don't wait until he gets to the NFL and then try to sabotage his character and who he is as a person and say, oh, he's brash and he's cocky and he's too confident. No, that's what makes him who he is. His dad was Deion Sanders. His dad was the same way in college. And there's plenty of players who translate from college to the NFL and are cocky the same way that they were in college. So don't try to sabotage Shadur Sanders' draft stock now and say that he's a 2nd-round quarterback because of his attitude. His attitude's never changed. It never has. The worst part about Cooper Flagg's ankle injury is that now we don't get to see him play against any competition. The entire year, all I've been waiting for is Cooper Flagg to actually play against somebody else was good so that we could see how good he is, so that we could see how he's going to translate to the NBA. And then he waits to the ACC tournament and he gets hurt. They wheeled him off the court in a wheelchair? Twisting your ankle? Is he soft? Just let me know. Is he soft or is he injured? Because he rolled his ankle and then they took him off in a wheelchair? And then 10 minutes later, he was back on the bench, but now he's not playing. So what's going on? Why isn't Cooper Flagg playing? Is he hurt or is he injured? Does he not want to go out there and give it all for his teammates because he's now worried about his draft stock? Everybody rolls an ankle playing basketball. I want to know if I'm an NBA team, I want to say, hey, It's my best player. I don't want him leaving his teammates out to dry in the tournament, whether it's the NCAA tournament or the AA or the ACC tournament. I want my best player out on the court because that's what I brought him here for. If I'm an NIL donor, I want Cooper Flagg out on the court because these are when all the lights are on. This is when everybody comes to see you, and I just gave you all my money. Why aren't you going to play basketball, Cooper Flagg? So is he hurt or is he injured? We want to see you play. Don't just dip out of the spotlight and try to run away from the cameras now that you're on the big stage. If Cooper Flagg is an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament, we need to see him out there.